Understanding that we've got such a vital role in this space, and we do have the power to really change these experiences for these kids around family. And from doing this study, it's made me think that I'll prioritise it more in the future. Whereas before, you've got a bunch of other tasks sort of pulling you in all directions. But after doing this, I think you can see the vital importance in family time and potentially putting more of a priority on that side of things going forward, which I think would benefit the kids.
There's so many tasks that you have to do as a caseworker, and family time can easily become just one of those tasks. But I guess if you can strengthen family time, you can strengthen the overall outcomes for that child.
The studies really, I guess, brought my focus to going out and building on children and young people's connections and support networks, to have those lifelong connections, even if, they do move from placement to placement. And I think as well, like, really being able to reconnect children on my caseload to families that they haven't seen, a lot of them, and since they entered care, which was a long time ago.
Another area that we have focused on is being mediator, caseworker, case manager, mediator in family relationships. The family dynamics in kinship placements is really difficult to manage. We've noted that if the paternal family doesn't get along with the paternal family, or one side of the family is caring for the child and not necessarily get along with the parents, there might be a fracture in the relationship. There might be a disruption to the number of times that the child might see family. We usually would say in kinship placements, let it be informal. Let's not get involved. Let it be informal. Grandma can sort out family time with the mom or with the auntie, but sometimes it doesn't quite happen because of that disruption, the family dynamics. So we've seen that we have had to encourage carers, encourage family to connect, just getting involved initially, supporting them through that, and making the situation amicable. That you don't necessarily have to like each other, but at least facilitate it so that the child can see mom. We've also tried to do it through encouraging the carers. Sometimes the child is not confident about family time. So we've encouraged the carers having conversations with us, being curious about family, so that when the child is ready to have that conversation, they already have that information already, or just having a telephone call with mom. And if the child wants to participate, that's a bonus. If they don't, that's okay, but you can still have that conversation with them that, I had a talk to mom today and she's doing okay. Do you want to know more? Just making them curious about those conversations and how family is going on the other side.
It's allowed me to sort of step back and not see it from what I'm trying to do right now and what I'm trying to do for this year, but the importance of what we're doing for when the child turns 18, so that they've got all these connections for when they step out into the world by themselves. And to not get so caught up in, yes, what we're doing right now is important, but we're also doing it for the future.
So it's not only about the physical permanency in the placement, but those relationships that they have with their extended families. So that's always a goal of ours, to make sure that we are focusing on culture. We are focusing on their identity within a family unit, not only the foster placement's identity or family unit, but also their birth family.
Something we spoke about too was the importance of, if a young person isn't wanting to see a family member now, don't just, that's it, they're never going to see them again. Keep revisiting that. Keep giving that child as much information about their family, their culture, so it's there ready for when they do want it.
Yeah, you're really looking at the bigger picture, I think, and that what happens, that lifelong building. I think it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day casework and bogged down in the KPIs and all the other things that are on your list. So kind of shifting your perspective and coming to these sorts of days are really important in bringing that back to the forefront of your mind and slowing down and thinking about what it's going to mean for that kid moving forward when they do turn 18, how we're supporting those connections so that they are safe and they are ongoing, not just this year, this is what we're doing because we're meeting what the court has said we have to do.
family time doesn't have to be that once a month thing. It could be a once a month face-to-face visit, but you can also add the phone calls, the FaceTime, the gaming, connecting through gaming, social media. It doesn't have to be that once a month or 4 times a year kind of thing. It can be an everyday thing.
I think it's important that caseworkers are not scared to look outside of the standard way family time has always looked in the past. And it's basically us having permission to be able to say, well, I know this is the standard of, so many visits, so many times a year, but can it be seen in a different way? Is it now safe where it may not have been safe before? And to keep going back and readjusting and re-looking at what's been set in the original care orders and plans, I think we need to know that it moves and it flows all the time. People change. There might be differences between birth parents when a child's first come into care from 5 or 6 years down the track. They grow, develop. Have we gave skills to those parents?
Having worked the majority of my career, 15 years or so, with young adults, say 15 to 25-year-olds, you see that they vote with their feet. I want to see my family, and they're off on a bus or a train or found them on Facebook or whatever. So for me, as a worker, getting straight in there and knowing, well, I need to be working towards unsupervised by 18, and I want to iron out the wrinkles with the carers before that happens. So talking about that and working towards that from whenever, as soon as possible is very important for safety in the relationship down the track.
And adding to that, just the bigger picture. Like, it's been great, the last thing you want to be doing is working in a crisis mode where a placement breaks down or a child, self-restores or anything like that. So that's having that bigger picture of the importance of building a network for these children rather than just ticking a box has been really, really good. And it's initially that reason the reason I came into the workplace. So it's really sparked up that, it's not just get in there and do what you have to do and then get out. Like, this can be really meaningful alongside everything else.